Moi everyone and welcome to Finnish Plate. Summer soup is one of those dishes that people in Finland either hate or love. I think the hate mostly comes from wrong kind of preparation, or more importantly, making it at the wrong time of the year. I think the flavor of summer soup really comes from the fresh vegetables. Maybe you picked them from your own garden, or maybe you went to the market this morning and picked them from there. So I went to the farmer's market, and here's what I got. So I have a red onion here that's this season's onion. It still has the stalk attached to it. Same thing with carrots, still with the stalk on. I have some cauliflower here too. I have some peas that are just about in season. I have some beans here too, a couple potatoes. And then I also have some vegetable broth, a little bit of cream. The dish itself is very simple. We're just going to take all these vegetables and just lightly prep them. We're going to roughly cut them in large pieces. There's no need to go very fine here. And then we're just going to put them all in the broth together. You could certainly use just water here, or you could also use chicken broth if you don't mind that it's not going to be vegetarian afterward. One thing that I would say, which is contrary to other dishes, is that we are not going to brown, like the onions, we are not going to brown them at all. The entire flavor of the soup really, and I cannot stress this enough, it comes from the fresh vegetables that are cooked very minimally just until they are done, and that's it. Now I'm going to just prep all these vegetables, and we're going to put this together. This is very simple to make. I'm going to put my broth in to warm up while I prep my vegetables. Add a couple bay leaves, a few allspice berries. There we go. Like, for example, the onion, this is really all that's needed. I just cut it into 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. Of course, besides these vegetables, you could use other vegetables here too, depending what you have in your garden or available otherwise. Zucchini would probably work pretty well. Some people put radishes in here too. I think they would work nicely. Of course, if you have some celery root, that would be nice in here. All right, so the water's come to a boil. Just gonna separate the onions, put them in so they will flavor the broth first. The only trick really here is just to not put all the vegetables in at the same time, because they're going to cook at a different pace. I'm going to drop the potatoes in first. I'm going to wait for a little while. I'm going to continue prepping the cauliflower, just separating the florets. You could probably use broccoli here too if you have it. Again, anything that's fresh. The potatoes have been cooking for a couple of minutes. I'm just going to add the carrots at this point. Oops, it's boiling just a little too much. So next up will be cauliflower. And the green beans. Everything goes in one big happy pot. At some point, few minutes into it, you may want to start feeling out the vegetables. See what stage of doneness there. It's almost done. Like I said, fresh vegetables do not need a ton of cooking. Wait a couple more minutes. Now that the vegetables are pretty much done, we're just going to add a couple tablespoons of heavy cream. And a pat of butter. Of course, if you want to keep it vegan, you could leave this out. But summer soup really is milk-based, so there's no, unlike salmon soup, there's really no way around it. Okay, so now we're just going to serve this. And we're just going to sprinkle a little bit of freshly chopped parsley on top. And of course, like any Finnish soup, serve it with a piece of bread, rye bread if you have it, or whole grain bread like I have here. It'll be perfect. And here we go, Finnish summer soup made from fresh seasonal veggies. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on Finish Your Plate.